Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. So we're starting out at the junction of Salmon River Road and Highway 97. This is the highway that travels between Vernon and Kamloops, British Columbia. And this area here is actually under evacuation order for a fast-moving forest fire called the White Rock Lake Forest Fire. And you can see on this map right here I've got a dark red outline on it. That is the actual shape of the fire, and the other highlighted areas are evacuated areas. Falkland's right in the center there on that map, so that's where we're going to be going to. I filmed this about a week before forest fire kind of closed this highway. So right now the highway's shut down. As far as I know, it's still shut down. And this was actually the end of July. So Salmon River Road, the road we turned off of, is a shortcut to Salmon Arm. And I'll put a link in the video, because that's where we came from. I'll put a link in the video that where we do that route. And then this road, like I say, it heads to Kamloops after Falkland. I'll put a link to that video as well. I'll go through Monty Lake kind of before it was impacted by the forest fire, the same forest fire. I'll put a link to that video. But this whole area, actually there's a spot up here where the Falkland forest fire that kind of threatened this area in 2003 burned a couple of structures actually right on the highway here. But yeah, so it was a forest fire that was, you see the trees will all disappear on the right hand side of this hill. It actually started on the left. I think it was a vehicle somehow caught fire and went across the road. And this was 2003, so that's how small these trees, that's why these trees are so small, and that's why it kind of looks like this here. But prior to 2003, there's a little spot, you'll see the trees get a little bit bigger on the right, and that's from another forest fire that was, I don't know when it was, maybe the 70s or something. And I remember driving by here before 2003, and this was one of the few places around that you could actually see like previous forest fire damage really close to the road. And I had an old timer tell me they were pulling guys out of vehicles to fight this fire. I guess they used to do that back then. Yeah, so you see the trees on this hillside here. It wasn't very big by today's standards, but I remember it was really stood out because there's this one little patch there, and the hill goes, you know, the fire went right up the hill and goes up over the top as well. But it's kind of weird. It's right where the 2003 fire started too. But so anyway, I don't think any of this area here has been impacted by the fire directly yet, but pretty tough area to fight a fire in. The hills are quite steep on both sides, so you know, it's a challenge for you know, aircraft if they're using bombers, that sort of thing. Terrain in this part of British Columbia doesn't lend itself well to a lot of different techniques for fighting fires that might work other places in Canada or the US. Because it's so steep and the fires move so fast because they're going uphill and they're just jumping ahead of themselves. It's hard to put fire guards in that are going to work. A lot of times things like highways and the irrigated fields are kind of the best bet, but it's pretty hard to fight these fires. And I know everybody's got an opinion and everybody seems to be an expert on it, but the reality is the guys that do it are working their butts off, and it's very challenging and very dangerous. But, you know, it's everybody's got an idea and some kind of conspiracy that something's going on, but you know, it's ridiculous. See, I'm seeing it in the comments, just how many just completely crazy people there are. Bottom line is they're just trying to do whatever they can to save the property and people. So that Falkland fire that started back there a ways, it kind of went up over the top of the hills and was heading down towards the community of Falkland up here, kind of from the backside. And that was, yeah, like I say, 2003. That was a bad year, but nothing like this year. Yeah, that was kind of like one of those years. I think there was like, you know, 4 forest fires close by here. Kamloops had fire just north of there, the Barrier Fire, McClure Fire. There was this Falkland Fire, and then of course the Kelowna Forest Fire. There's a bunch of small ones too. There was one in Chase. Yeah, I remember I was driving up to the Barrier Fire, and you could just see the Chase Fire was just starting. You could see it on top of the hill. But anyway, this year it's extremely bad. It's been so dry, and you know, there's a lot of it is just how dry it's been. You know, sure there's other, you know, reasons that, you know, I kind of don't really completely believe, you know, agree with. You know, they got rid of different prescribed burns, that sort of thing, but bottom line is it's just the temperature and how dry everything is. Same problems happening in Greece and Europe and California. It's not some kind of government conspiracy, but it's yeah, it's the new reality, unfortunately. Climate change. So if you're driving in this direction, just keep in mind this is quite a real straight stretch here, and watch your speed. You will get a ticket. They quite easy for them to hit you with the radar from a long distance away. And this, the way I've filmed this, my camera's hanging off the side of the truck, so it kind of looks like I'm driving over the line, but I'm right in the center of the road, and kind of the perspective is kind of weird. I know some people comment saying I'm driving over the road, over the line and stuff, but that's not the case. It's just the perspective of the camera. So we're just approaching Falkland here, and we're going to stop at a gas station up here. I think this is the only gas station in Falkland. Anyway, there's a little store in there and stuff, but yeah, I think that's where we'll end the video. So if you like this kind of thing, think about subscribing. I'll put links to the other videos, kind of previous and the next one as well, that I carry on down this road. But anyway, thanks for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.